Hey guys, again, I feel like every time I make a video, I'm apologizing for not making a video. I had a bit of an incident last time I came to try out and do some filming, and I ended up breaking my camera lens, but thank you to my absolutely amazing patrons, I was able to pick up another lens. So this is the new lens, so I hope you like it. I hope it makes me look beautiful in a way. The reason why I'm out here today is I thought it was high time I did a bow review, and about a year ago my buddy Lale from Silver Archery sent me 3 striker bows to do reviews on, and it's been a hectic year, so I'm really sorry this is about a year late, but what we're going to have a little look at today is this. Now this is the RK1. Now this is a sort of amalgamation between 2 companies. This is it's a striker bow, but this riser here is made by New Breed Archery, which is primarily a compound bow manufacturer. So the guys at Striker got together with New Breed, and they came up with this. Now, I'm going to be completely honest with you. When I got this out the box and put it together and shot a couple of arrows with it, I didn't like it. I thought, nah, that's not for me. I don't want to shoot a metal risered bow. It kind of goes against the vibe I've got. It looks a bit weird. I don't know. I don't like it. And yeah, I sort of put it down, and I didn't pick it up for quite a number of months afterwards. And then I decided on a whim to pick it up and give it a go, well, another go, and I fell in love with it, which is strange, because I'm not really one for metal risered bows. Now, when I on occasion have shot a metal risered bow, I do get a bit of flack from, you know, those sort of guys on the internet. They sort of, the traditional archery mafia. Oh, it's a metal riser, it can't be traditional. I don't really care what you think. Traditional's a mindset, man. It's not a bow style. Jeez. But anyway, this is a metal risered bow, and I'm really enjoying shooting it at the moment, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. But let me just tell you a little bit about this bow before we go out and have a bit of a play with it. Now, you see it's a metal riser, obviously. It's 16 inches long, and you've got these are longbow limbs, and it comes in at a 60-inch AMO length. Now, you can have longbow limbs or you can have recurve limbs. I'm a sucker for the modern style longbow limb, the reflex deflex limb. I absolutely love that. I think it's the most elegant shape of limb there is. Some people prefer the recurve. I prefer this. It's just a preference, really. But you've got the thing I like about this is all the Striker takedown bows. All the limbs are interchangeable. So I was messing around trying to get a little bit of extra length out of this the other day, and I put some of the 60-inch recurve limbs off my Sport takedown, and that gave me about a 62-inch bow, and that was very nice to shoot. But this is a 60-inch bow. All the RK1s come as a 60-inch. They're massively customizable, because these risers are done in a dip tank, and so are the limbs. So I know these look like carbon. They're not actually carbon limbs. They're a dipped carbon. It's an aesthetic thing, but yeah, these bows are incredibly customizable. There's a guy out there who's got a plaid one, which I think is kind of cool. Would I shoot a plaid bow? I don't know, but it's pretty awesome. But yeah, I mean, it's machined from aircraft grade aluminium. It's pretty light. You've got a bow weight of around 2 pounds, so it's got weight to it, but it's not overly heavy. It's still sort of quite maneuverable, quite nimble. You've got a pretty large sight window, which you don't get on the Strikers normally. The takedown Strikers tend to have quite a short sight window. This has got a much bigger sight window, but you've got the advantage of being able to shoot off the shelf, which I prefer. If you know me, you know I love shooting off the shelf. You can, if you wanted to, just unscrew this little thing here and put a little plunger button and a rest in there, if you so wish to shoot off a simple rest, or even a plunger button rest. It's tapped for a sight or an AMO bow quiver, if you want to bolt one of those on there. I personally use a Selway quick release, which fits sort of up onto these limbs absolutely perfectly. Don't affect the limb at all. Obviously, I've got a Grizzly string in there. I've got a Pro Grizzly string. I mean, the strings that come with it, they're an 18 strand fast flight, but personally don't like the way they're twisted up. Now, I'm going to say that because I make strings for a living, but they are the same issue that Bear had with that sort of infinite twist sort of string, which doesn't do anybody any favours. You've got a little bushing in the front, so put a little stabiliser or a bow fishing reel or whatever you like, really. But the thing I think I like most about this bow is that grip. Now, I'm always going on about a slim grip. Now, that is about as slim as they come. That fits my hand absolutely perfect. Now, they refer to this as a torqueless grip, and it's very similar to a compound grip, actually. I don't know if you ever shot a compound bow or seen a compound bow. They don't really have grips on them at all. They sometimes have sort of side plates or something, but that is very, very reminiscent of a compound grip. And yeah, that just fits in my hand really nicely. And yeah, my life seems to be that never-ending quest for a low, slim grip, and that is lower and slimmer than you could probably get on any trad bow because it's an aluminium riser. Obviously, with a wooden riser, if you go too narrow, too thin, you're going to create a weak point and give yourself sort of issues. But yeah, that's the bow, sort of, you know, a little breakdown just of what it is. I'll go on record as saying I really like this bow. I really enjoy shooting this bow, but I'll tell you a little bit about that in a second. So I think I've rambled on enough about this. Let's go and shoot it, and I'll try and talk you through how it feels to shoot it, and yeah, let's go and have some fun with it. See you in a bit. So instead of being out on the range, we've come out to the woods today, and we've got a deer, slight downhill shot. Oh, it's probably only about 20 yards away, something like that, maybe 25, I don't know. I'm going to have a little pop at that, and I'm going to try and explain to you a little bit about how the bow feels to shoot and whatnot. But I mentioned before why I'm really enjoying this bow at the moment, and I've recently, a couple of things, I'm recently recovering from surgery, so I'm having to take things a little bit easy at the moment, and I've also still got an existing problem with my shoulder. Now, this is one of the more higher poundage bows that I have, but I'm finding it one of the easiest to shoot. Now, I don't know if it's something to do with the geometry of the riser, but this has to be one of the smoothest 50-pound bows I've ever shot. I've got 45-pound bows, and I've got a 43-pound bow that I'm really struggling with. This is just so smooth. I mean, it still hurts, and I still got to take it easy, so I'm not going to shoot too many arrows with it. But I'm finding this really, really smooth to shoot. It's really... It's a dream, really. And I said before, I sort of fallen in love with this bow. It's a weird one, and I know there's going to be a few people that sort of, you know, give me a bit of flack because it's a metal risered bow. Now, obviously, I can't shoot this in world archery. It's got to be a wooden bow, but this is sort of becoming my go-to bow at the moment. But anyway, let's chuck a few arrows downrange, and we'll see what we can do with it. It's just to let you know, the arrows I'm shooting, these are Victory carbon trads. These are 450s. Now these arrows aren't actually for this bow. They might actually be a little bit weak for this bow, but they'll be good enough for this. So they're what I had. These are some pretty nice arrows. Again, Lale from Silver Archery sent me these. Now these are a beautiful trad arrow, quite heavy, but we'll send these downrange, and I'll try and talk you through what it's like to shoot. Normally I like to try and get out the box and shoot it as is, but I have shot this bow quite a bit, so but yeah, let's have a pop of this deer. Pretty good shot, kind of where I wanted it. So yeah, it's just such a smooth bow to shoot. That's what gets me about it. And the weird thing is, when I picked it up for the first time a year ago, I really didn't like it. It felt weird. There was a weird sort of buzz, like a vibration I got from it, and I don't know what happened. Maybe changing the string, or changing the way I shoot, or just changing my sort of preconceptions of what it is to shoot a metal risered bow. I don't know, but from going from not liking it at all to it being one of my favorite bows, it's a weird transition. But that grip is perfect. I said before, you can't get the grip that I want on a wooden bow. You'd have to shave it down to almost nothing. So that's the grip I've always wanted. But don't get me wrong, I always love a traditional wooden bow. That's where my heart lies. That's my wife. A traditional wooden bow is my wife. This is my mistress. She's filthy. Right, touch that one, so it's something's working, so it's going nice. I'm going to shoot another couple, and then we'll go for a little bit of a wander around the wood and shoot it. But yeah, I mean, it's a metal bow. It'd be easy to compare it to sort of like the Buffalo and the Satori. I suppose the closest thing that I've shot to it's probably the Buffalo, but I like the Buffalo, and I did the Buffalo versus the Win and Win RCX, or the Black Wolf as it's called now, and that I preferred the Buffalo over the Win and Win, even though technically the Win and Win on paper was the better bow. But this is just wonderful. That's going pretty well. I'm going to leave it there actually. No, I'm going to shoot one more. I don't know. I'm hard pushed to find bows I don't like, to be honest. I just love shooting. That's the main thing. People get way too caught up on the semantics of things and what is and what isn't traditional. As long as you're out enjoying yourself, that's the main thing, right? Just get more people out in the woods. Nice. No, I'm going to leave it there. So let's go and have a little wander around the woods, and I'll speak to you in a bit. We've just been out shooting with the guys, and I let them worryingly have a go of the RK1, and it's not until you let someone else have a go with your bow you realise how quiet it is. But I was astounded how I knew it was fairly quiet, but I didn't know it was quite that quiet. I'm quite impressed with that, but yeah, those guys are worrying me slightly, so I'm going to go get my bow back, and yeah, we're going to carry on shooting. So that has been the Striker RK1, and I gotta say, I really have enjoyed shooting this. I know it's been such a long time since I actually got round to doing this review, and I feel bad, but I just wanted to say, before I sort of finish up the roundup, a huge thank you to Lale from Silver Archery for hooking me up with this, and the guys from Striker. Both those guys have been absolutely fantastic to me. So check down in the description for some links to, you can see what they're up to. But yeah, I just want to say a huge thank you. I wouldn't be able to do the things I do without the generosity of people like Lale and Dusty at Striker. And of course my Patreons, they have been absolutely fantastic. I wouldn't be making this video today if it wasn't for my Patreons sort of helping me out getting my new lens. So thank you so much to all you guys. But yeah, the RK1, you can see I've put my Selway bow quiver on there because that's the way I intend to shoot it. Because of the way this sort of sits really sort of low on the limbs here, it doesn't affect the working limb at all. Shooting a bow quiver off this bow is absolutely fine. I'm hard pushed to find any real negatives about this bow. I guess the shape, it could be classed as a bit of a Marmite bow. And for those people watching outside of the UK that want to know what Marmite is, I think it's a yeast supplement that you can put on toast, and people generally love it or they hate it. But yeah, I guess the shape of this bow could be classed as a bit of a Marmite bow. Again, when I first got out the box, I wasn't keen, but it's grown on me. It's a really aggressive sort of shape. Does feel very much like a compound bow in the hand, and I did used to shoot compound bow. So maybe that's why I've always quite enjoyed the lower grips. I imagine if you were shooting in the dead of winter, if you didn't have a glove on, that would be very cold, being an aluminium riser. I've shot it a bit over winter, and it has been a little bit hard on the hands, but you know, man up, I'll wear a glove. I love the fact you can shoot it off the shelf, and it's kind of geared up to be shot off the shelf. That's where I feel most comfortable. I've never really liked the shooting off an arrow rest and plunger buttons and things, but if you do, there's nothing wrong with that. This bow will suit. I like the length. I mean, it would be nice if you could get a 62, and technically you can. I put my sport recurve limbs on it, and that gave me about a 62. So you can tweak the lengths to suit you. It's just a workhorse of a bow. I'm really pleased with it, actually, and it's probably going to be. I say a lot of bows are my go-to bow, and I'm such a bow whore. I love bows. I love archery. I wear my heart on my sleeve. If I didn't like shooting it, I wouldn't shoot it, and I like shooting this. So yeah, that's the one thing. But yeah, I mean, I've had fun today. It's been a bit difficult. I've had to take it easy. I couldn't shoot too many arrows because of the shoulder, and I'm still a bit tender from my surgery. So I'm taking it easy. It's not been the most in-depth review I've ever done, but more of a showcase. So that's the RK1. I hope you've enjoyed that video. It's been great being back in the woods again. The weather's been really bad this winter, so it's nice to be back in the woods. Spring is happening. When it's not raining. You can see sort of the bluebells are just about to start popping up. So yeah, the woodlands around the UK are about to get really beautiful. So anyway, thanks again. Take care, shoot straight, and I'll see you on the internet. Bye bye.